Hey guys, so today I'm in a city called Olomouc in the southeast of the Czech Republic, and today I'm going to show you one of the main streets in the city centre and check out the street vibe in this wonderful city. So this is my hotel opposite. It's called the Palace Hotel, and I got here on the tram number 4, which goes directly from the bus station here to downtown. The tram costs about €1.50. Now, when you go to the end of this street, you get to a very, very beautiful park. And I do recommend you go to that park, because when you walk through that park straight ahead there, at the end of Kosinova Street, then you get through to the shopping centre. And it's a great big shopping centre with all the shops, Armani Exchange, all the nice shops that you want, H&M, Zara, everything else. And the park is absolutely beautiful, with a river running through the park, and it's absolutely stunning. So there's lots of beer taverns, just like the one straight ahead here. It says Pivnica, and you go inside, and most of the beer taverns are underground. So you go down underground there, and they do a pint of beer for around £2. They have beer like Budvar in there, and some of the local beers that I've not heard of before from the Moravia region. So straight ahead you have the St. Wenceslas Cathedral, where St. Wenceslas III was killed and murdered in 1306. So it has a story behind it as well. And you can go inside that cathedral and have a look, and it does look really, really impressive. The city is just packed full of churches and chapels. It has a Catholic history here, and you can see that. But the churches here are really, really beautiful. And on this tour, I'm going to show you the prices and the cafes here, and show you some cafes and bars and restaurants. So straight ahead, you have a nice coffee shop there where you can watch the people go by. Here in the city, coffee's quite expensive here, really. The minimum you're going to pay for a coffee is £2. A lot of places charge £3 for a coffee as well. So you're talking about €3, €3.50 for a coffee here. But beer is very reasonably priced here, because most of the bars are about €2 for a pint of beer. For example, this street here just behind my hotel has a number of different pubs, and they're very cheap, and they have a sign outside. One of the pubs here on the left side, this one with the Budvar sign, it had a sign outside, and it's an underground pub. They have beer there for €1.50. And you go down underground. It's only in the afternoon, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's not open yet. But I wanted to show you this place on the left side. This is a torture restaurant. It's all in darkness, and you eat in darkness, so you feel the food. And it's a special torture restaurant. And they're advertising Holba beer. That's very popular in Poland, where I live. And Pilsner outside, and it tells you how many degrees. It's an 11-degree beer. So you go inside through the door, and you go down to get inside the restaurant. And then opposite we have the haunted house. I do recommend the haunted house here, guys, because it's a really, really good haunted house. It's one of the best ones in the whole of the Czech Republic. And I got a flyer about it in the hotel, and I went there yesterday, and it is really, really good. And I like this street because the architecture is really impressive. The architecture here is from the Austro-Hungarian period with the Habsburgs, and they built the buildings here just beautifully. I walk around the streets and I love architecture, and I see these buildings and I'm really, really impressed. And straight ahead you have another fantastic building with a gold dome on the top at the end. I'm guessing that's a church as well, in the center of the street. So I'll walk you further on, and this walks towards the main square, and we're going towards the city centre area now. So my hotel's just here, the Palace Hotel. I pay €60 a night to stay here. It's a 3-star hotel. The rooms are quite basic with a bathroom. It's nothing special, but it's just a clean place to stay in the city centre. You're going to pay, in terms of a hostel room, you probably pay about £15 a night here if you want to share a room in a backpacker hostel. And some of the luxury hotels, the better hotels, are about £90 or £100 a night. So opposite you've got a cafe there. You see the orange one? It's called Cafe Dolce Vita. And that cafe there does a full English breakfast for about £5, or you can get scrambled eggs for about £3, about 80 Czech koruni. And I wanted to just give you an idea of the pricing options here as well. Well, this is the sixth biggest city in the Czech Republic with a population of 100,000 people. And most of the people here are students. There's over 23,000 students in the city, which makes it one of the biggest student cities in the center of Europe. So as you walk on every street, you just find more and more pubs and bars, and you find lots and lots of restaurants. The one on the right side here, it's a Vietnamese restaurant, and you can eat a plate of noodles, or you can eat you know, various things, fish and meat and lots of chicken and pork dishes, and you pay about £4 or £5 there in the Asian Dragon. So let me have a look inside. So you get lots and lots of Vietnamese places here. It's interesting, I've just seen 2 Vietnamese places here on the same street. On the right side you have the Irish pub, where you can get a pint of beer for around €3. It's called the Black Stuff, but it's not the only Irish pub here in the city. There's actually 2 Irish pubs. There's another Irish pub called the Temple Bar, just like Temple Bar in Dublin. And as you walk around the city, you can see signs here. And you'll see the signs, they'll direct you to the main square and where to go. And if you go straight down this street, straight ahead here, and you turn right, they have a festival right now, the Student Rock Festival at the Palazzo University. So that's where I was on the first night, and there was a festival with live bands on, like Tata Boys, who are very famous from the past in the 80s, and it was absolutely rocking. All the students were dancing, and it's not only for students, it's for everybody. Anybody can go there, and entry was free as well. So there's lots and lots of festivals going on here in this city. I recommend this city as an alternative to Prague because it's undiscovered to people outside of the Czech Republic. Most foreigners don't know anything about Olomouc. They've never been to Olomouc. It's like an undiscovered gem, really, and it is really, really impressive. And what you find when you come here, you might go to Prague on holiday, you've probably been to Krakow as well, and they are similar cities to here, but now they're very expensive now. The business owners have got greedy now, and prices are very expensive in those cities. But here you can buy a pint of beer in most of the bars for €2 or €2.50. You can buy, for example, you can buy a main meal in a restaurant for £7 or £8. When you're here, I recommend you try the local cheese. It's called Olomoucký cheese, and it's a really smelly and strong cheese. And last night I tried the cheese in the Czech beer pub, and it cost about £5 for a plate of cheese, and you get bread with it and salad and cucumbers, and it was really, really tasty. And you can also try the Tvardsky cheese as well, and that's one of the smelliest cheeses in the whole of the Czech Republic. It's famous here for smelly cheese, and you must try it when you're here in Olomouc. So straight ahead here in the center, you can see a hostel called the Long Story Short. I do recommend this place. It's a coffee shop, and it's a bakery as well, and a restaurant, and it's also a hostel where you can stay quite cheaply. You can stay there in a dorm room for about £15 or £20 a night, and they've got private rooms, but they're more expensive. I think it's about £80 or £100 a night for a private room, but it's a nice place there, and you want to check it out when you're here. So on the left side we can see a bistro, lots of options for eating here. And it's nice here just to see the street vibe before you come here, before you decide to come. If you want to come here, you fly to Ostrava, which is 1 hour away. If you can't fly to Ostrava from your home city, get a flight to Prague, and you can get the train here in about 3 hours from Prague. Or also you can fly to Krakow in Poland, get the bus. It's very cheap. It's about £15 on the bus from Krakow, and it takes about 3.5 hours. So you've got all of these trendy places opposite, like the trendy burger bar on the left side there, with cool signs outside. You've got the spaghetti place there. I checked the prices yesterday in the spaghetti place, and it's £6 for some spaghetti bolognese, for example, to give you an idea of the prices. And there's the Boca Club bar, the yellow one, just opposite there. And it's about €2.5 to €3 for a pint of beer in there. So if you look at the dome straight ahead on the buildings on the top, the spires, really, really impressive with a clock on the front. And you have a fountain there. You can hear it there on the left side. And here straight ahead in the center, you can see another Vietnamese restaurant. There's Vietnamese restaurants everywhere here, guys. You kind of feel like you're in Vietnam sometimes. There's so many. Let's look back at this street. So the streets are all cobbled. The buildings are all different colors. It's a very beautiful city. It's very well maintained. I don't see any litter on the floor. It's very, very clean. And if you stay where I stay, for example, you can just walk everywhere in the city. I arrived here 3 days ago. I've not used any taxis at all so far. But if you need to use them, you can use Uber taxi here as well. And from the bus station to here, it costs about £3.50. Maybe about €4 in a taxi from the bus station to the city centre downtown area. So it's 21 degrees today. It's on the 5th of May. The sun's shining. Perfect time to visit here, really. I'd say that May is the best month of the year to visit this city, weather-wise. And the weather stays good right through until October. And even in October, you get plenty of sunny days as well. So and you see these signs around the city, just like opposite, and it tells you where to go, where the tourist attractions are. Here you've got 5 cathedrals and churches, and they're all really, really beautiful and worth a look at too. And you've got lots and lots of museums all over the city. Like you can see this one here, the museum in the yellow there. They're very cheap to enter, and it's definitely worth a look too if you like museums. The trams go up and down all day, so remember, get tram number 4, and tram number 4 will take you downtown to the city centre. So I recommend you try the trams when you're here as well. They're really clean, really efficient, and they go, well, the tram that I got, the number 4, it goes every 10 minutes, so it was perfect, really. They have here. Oh, here's another museum here. Let's have a look. This is the museum where you can see the foundations of the castle. Let me just focus up. So when you're here, you have to try a dish called a Czech goulash. People here, they absolutely love Czech goulash. I've seen it on the menu in most places around here. It costs you about £10 at night time for a Czech goulash. And if you have it, well, it's 220 Czech crowns actually for a Czech goulash here. But if you go to places in the daytime, look out for a discount daytime menu. The discount daytime menu, you can get a Czech goulash for 155 Czech crowns, which is about £3. So down that street there, there's a bar that's open till 3 in the morning on the right side. So there's plenty of late options for drinking as well. And when you go down that street there, you get to all of these beautiful cobbled old streets. Just showing you the facades on the buildings here, because they are really impressive. This street here, it reminds me of Lisbon in many ways because the trams come up and down all day. And 2 years ago I was in Lisbon and it was kind of very similar to this street. It reminds me of one part of the city of Lisbon. And there's actually a Portuguese place on this street as well. I'll try and find it to show you in a minute. There's all different cafes up and down. So basically you turn left here, down the left turning, just straight ahead, and carry on down there, and you get to the main market square of the city. It's a huge, massive main market square, and it's really, really impressive because this city is from the 13th century. It's very historic, and you'll notice that with all the cobbled streets and all the old buildings here as well. I'm amazed that I've traveled to 65 countries now. I've traveled around the world, and it's my first time coming here, and it's really, really impressive. I didn't expect anything this nice, but it's really, really surprised me. It's a really lovely city, and I'm amazed that I've never traveled here before. I'd say the city here is much nicer to look at than Ostrava, for example, nearby. Ostrava's another big city in Moravia region as well. It's definitely cheaper than Prague. It's really beautiful like Prague too. I've been to Brno as well. I wasn't really impressed by Brno. It's just like a business city. There's some students hanging around, but it's nothing special at all in Brno, really. It's not like this. This is a special city, and when you come here, you will be really, really impressed. So in the center there, just straight ahead, you can see the town hall with the famous astronomical clock on it as well in the center near the top. You can see that, and that's where you find the tourist information point for when you first arrive. You'll need to go there and find out what you can do and see here as well. And you've got the famous Trinity column there in the center of the square as well, which is the main reason like tourists come here. They want to see that Trinity column with all the sculptures on. It's really, really impressive. And that's from the 18th century as well. So it's really nice. You have the street signs here, just telling you where to go as you go around town. So let's have a look here. So it says the museums to the right, the cathedrals to the right, the city centers to the right, and the information point is to the left. You can see how old the buildings are here too. And for more of my tours, guys, from Olomouc, please subscribe to my channel, Travel with Col, and that's Col with a C-O-L. And I've got lots of more tours from the Czech Republic, from Poland, from many, many, many different countries, just to show you what it's like before you travel there. So guys, thank you very much for watching my guided tour today. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Travel with Col, and that's Col with a C-O-L. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.